How easy is it to get up in the morning when you know you're not doing all that it takes? It's not very easy at all. You can just lay there awake thinking, oh, what's a few more minutes in bed? It won't matter much anyway. Wrong. It does matter. It will matter. Now, how easy is it to get up in the morning when you're pouring it on, doing the best you can, anxious to get going, make progress toward your dreams? It's a whole different story. When you're resting to renew your reserves, it's much different than resting to avoid your day. When you're psyched up and excited for your life, when you're excited for what you plan to accomplish for the day, it's amazing. You'll wake up before the alarm clock even tries to startle you awake. Your successes fuel your ambition. Your successes give you extra energy. Your successes pave the way for more successes. It's the snowball effect. With one success, you're excited to meet another, and another, and another. And pretty soon, the disciplines that were so difficult in the beginning, the disciplines that got you going, are now part of your philosophy. How do you know when you're successful? Do you have to be a millionaire? No. All we ask of you is that you earn all you possibly can. If you earn $10,000 a year and that's the best you can do, that's enough. God and everything else will see to it that you're okay. The key is to just do the best you can. If it's $10,000 a year, wonderful. If it's $100,000 a year, wonderful. If it's $1 million a year, wonderful. It doesn't matter, 10,000 a year or $1 million a year. It doesn't matter as long as you've done the best you possibly can. Earn the most you possibly can. Be the most you possibly can. And here's why. The essence of life is growth. The essence of life is growth, to do the best you can. And here's what's interesting. Humans are the only life form that will do less than they possibly can. Humans are the only life form that will settle for less. Every other life form except human beings strive to its maximum capacity. How tall will a tree grow? Approximately. As tall as it possibly can. You never heard of a tree growing half as high as it could. No, trees don't grow half. Trees send their roots down as deep as possible, stretch their limbs up as high as possible, produce every leaf possible and every fruit possible. As a matter of fact, you never heard of a human physically growing half. We keep growing until we're done. Now that's a part of life we can't control. It's genetically coded. And that's probably why we keep growing till we're done. Because we can't control that part. It's the rest of our growing that we control. The growing of our minds, the expansion of our minds, that we can control. And that's what tends to get away from us. All life forms inherently strive to their max except human beings. Now, why wouldn't human beings strive to their maximum possibility? Here's why. Because we've been given the dignity of choice. It makes us different than alligators and trees and birds. The dignity of choice makes us different than all other life forms. And here's the choice: to become part of what we could be, enough to get by, or to become all that we can be. My best advice for you is to choose the all. Earn all you can. Make all the friends you can. Read as many books as you can. Develop as many skills as you can. See as much as possible. Do as much as possible. Make as much fortune as possible. Give as much of it away as possible. The max. There's no life like it. I'm telling you, once I got on track, I've never looked back. Pick up the challenge. Go for it. Take the best of the two easies. Take the route of it's easy to get ahead. It's easy to do all you can. It's easy to succeed. It's easy to have financial freedom. The more you do, the more you get. So the two primary benefits of positive reinforcement are, number one, to build good habits, and number two, to create more energy, to fuel your ambitions, your desires, your
Say about trouble is temporary. We all face difficulties that don't look like they'll ever change. Seems like the more we pray, the worse it gets. We don't see any sign of things improving. It's easy to live discouraged and accept that it's not meant to be. But Paul said in 2 Corinthians, our present troubles are small and won't last very long. These troubles will soon be over, but the joy to come will last forever. What you're up against may look permanent. Seems like it's going to take years to get well, years to get out of debt, years to meet the right person. Don't be fooled by what you see. God is saying the trouble is only temporary. It's not going to last very long. Soon it's going to be over. Soon you're going to see the breakthrough. Soon your health is going to turn around. Soon you're going to meet the person of your dreams. You may not see how this can happen. Everything in your reasoning says it's not possible. You're looking at it in the natural. We serve a supernatural God. He can make things happen that you can't make happen. And instead of thinking of all the reasons why it's not going to work out, how it's going to take forever, try a different approach. Father, thank you that this difficulty will soon be over. Thank you that this sickness, this depression, this family problem will not last very long. Joel, it's already been a long time. That means you are very close to seeing it turn around. You're on the verge of a breakthrough. You're about to see freedom, promotion, problems suddenly resolved, dreams suddenly come to pass. Not in the sweet by and by, but soon things are going to change. Soon that child is going to get back on course. Soon that new door is going to open. Soon the right person is going to show up. Soon you're going to come into overflow.
That's our greatest, the emptiness was the greatest asset that she had.
The thing about that story, the pot of oil continued to flow until she ran out of empty vessels, showing that God is endless in his supply. It is a matter of your capacity. When you start talking about greatness and smallness, I don't think that everybody was meant to lead something great because they don't have the capacity to handle the stress that goes along with leading something great. That's why you ought to be careful about coveting something that belongs to somebody else or inheriting something that you don't have the capacity to handle. You have to have the capacity that is commensurate to the opportunity.
How do you expand your capacity if you feel like that's something you need to work on?
That's a great, that's a good old interview question. Everybody can't think to ask you the right kind of question. I think that when David killed the lion and killed the bear, he was expanding his capacity, working himself up to the giant. If you kill the small thing that's in front of you, it will increase your capacity to go after the bigger thing that's coming before you. And so, if you don't do anything with the lion, don't talk to me about the giant. You have to work on the level that you're on. First 30, then 60, then 100-fold. God is not going to give you the 100-fold opportunity if you haven't maximized what you have. The man with the one talent.
Fall forward. This is what I mean. Reggie Jackson struck out 2,600 times in his career, the most in the history of baseball. But you don't hear about the strikeouts. People remember the home runs. Thomas Edison conducted 1,000 failed experiments. You know that, right? Because the 1,001st was the light bulb. Every failed experiment is one step closer to success. You've got to take risks, and I'm sure you've probably heard that before. But I want to talk to you about why that's important. You will fail at some point in your life. Accept it. You will lose. You will embarrass yourself. You will suck at something. There's no doubt about it. And I know that's probably not a traditional message for a graduation ceremony, but hey, I'm telling you, embrace it because it's inevitable.
And one of the first things you need to be binding is the spirits of fear. See, fear travels with counterparts. Fear's got friends. And fear is attached to dysfunction and disorder and doubt and bitterness and unforgiveness. There are so many different counterparts that fear rocks with. But when we start thinking about perspective, when we start thinking about, is it a problem or is it placement? It is fear that will keep you locked in the prison of the problem. That you won't see the promise and the prophecy. You're just going to keep seeing the problem. And I'm in a place in my life where I've got to start seeing prophecy. I'm standing on promises. I'm standing on what he has declared over my life, and I'm not focused on...
You can't make me want what I don't want. You can't dangle something in front of my face because I don't want it. And many of you are taking anything if you don't know what you want. And so if I can do one thing for you when you leave this room, I don't want nothing from you but for you to leave this room and know what you want. What do you want in your marriage? What do you want with your son and your daughter? What do you want in your health? What do you want financially? Like, how much money do you want to make a year? What do you want to drive? How do you want to live? Stop just waking up like an accident. What do you want? And then once you find out what you want, spend the rest of your natural life waking up and going after it. The reason why I speak with so much passion, E.T., why do you speak with so much authority? Because I'm talking about my life, not something that I read. I ate out of trash cans. I had no business eating out of trash cans. I lived in abandoned buildings. I had no business living in abandoned buildings. But E.T., your daddy wasn't in your life. Your mom was a teenage mother. You grew up, come on, look at your circle. That's not an excuse. There's no excuse for not living up to your full position. No excuse. I told you, I didn't get a new daddy. I didn't get a new mama. What changed? I changed. And I stopped being a victim. I stopped saying, I've got to wait for good things to happen to me. And I said, I'm going to grind. I'm going to fight. I'm going to work. I'm going to press forward. I'm going to learn. I'm going to do everything in my power. Every single day, I'm going to do everything in my power to become a victor and not a victim. Let me say this before I move forward, and I can't explain it, but you better feel it. Winners win, and losers lose. I can't explain it any better than that. I don't know how it happened, but winners win. And if you create a culture of losing, if you keep being a victim, if you keep letting losing happen to you, if you keep letting people do you and treat you any kind of way, it's going to become a culture for you. You walk out of this room, call yourself, I didn't get here making excuses. So what, my father wasn't in my life? The truth of the matter is, he ain't never coming to me. So what, I'm going to wait for the rest of my life for my man to come? He ain't coming. I live in America. I'm an African-American male. They don't treat us the same. It's something called racism. I ain't going to cry about it. It's probably going to be racism to the day I die, but I'm not going to cry about it. I'm still going to be a millionaire. I'm still going to be one of the top motivational speakers in my life. No, I didn't grow up on that side of the town. No, my mama don't have no network. No, I don't know a whole lot of people. No, I'm not at a country club. No, I don't play golf, and I don't plan on playing no kind of golf. But I'm still going to be successful. I'm still going to get to where they are. Why? Because I owe it to myself. Can't nobody stop me but me. You need to get rid of them excuses. You need to stop pointing fingers at people. And you need to start pointing fingers at yourself. What did you not do?